Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai. So we'll start with Mangalacharna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tatoshayam Udirayet. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the personality of Godhead, Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. नष्टप्रायेष्व भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. By regular attendance in the classes on Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripa tamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinim. My respectful obeisance unto my spiritual master, the deliverer of the fallen souls. His mercy turns the dumb into eloquent speakers, enables the lame to cross mountains. Jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you for joining today's Srimad Bhagavatam class, and thank you for this opportunity, especially Vishesh Prabhu. It was his turn to give Srimad Bhagavatam class today, and he sacrificed it, and he asked me to speak something and share something about especially my dham visits. So I'll try to speak a little bit on the verse that we are discussing, and then try to connect it to Dhamvasis and how we can learn something from them. Yes. So we are reading from 28 to 35, right? 29? Okay. So we're reading from 29 to 35. We can start the translations.
29. Sometime later, Lord Krishna, the son of Devaki, surrounded by his cowherd friends and accompanied by his elder brother, Balaram, went a good distance away from Vrindavan, herding the cows.
Damyanti Prabhu.
When the sun's heat became intense, Lord Krishna saw that the trees were acting as umbrellas by shading him, and thus he spoke as follows to his boyfriends.
Text 31 to 32. Lord Krishna said, O Stupa Krishna and Amshu, O Sridham, Subala and Arjuna, O Vishala, Rishabha, Ojasvi, Devaprastha, Varuthapa, just see these great fortunate trees whose lives are completely dedicated to the benefit of others. Even by tolerating the wind, rain, heat and snow, they protect us from these elements.
Text 33. Just see how these trees are maintaining every living entity. Their birth is successful. Their behavior is just like that of a great personalities. For anyone who asks anything from a tree never goes away disappointed.
These trees fulfill one's desires with their leaves, flowers and fruits, their shade, roots, bark and wood, and also with their fragrance, sap, ashes, pulp, and shoots.
It is the duty of every living being to perform welfare activities for the benefit of others with his life, wealth, intelligence, and words.
Jai. And we are focusing on verse 30,
Reading the 39.
39. Okay, go on.
Chapter 36. Thus, moving among the trees, whose branches were bent low by the abundance of twigs, fruits, flowers, and leaves, Lord Krishna came to the Yamuna.
The cowherd boys let the cows drink the clear, cool, and wholesome water of Yamuna. Looking to reach it, the cowherd boys themselves also drank the sweet water to their full satisfaction.
Then, O king, the coward boys began herding the animals in a leisurely way within a small forest along the Yamuna. But soon they became afflicted by hunger, and approaching Krishna and Balarama spoke as follows.
Yes, this is the end of the chapter. Yes.
Yeah,
I go. Now, we'll be focusing on verse 35, but everyone knows what's going on in this chapter, right? For those who are watching online and those who might not know, we are discussing a very intimate pastime of Lord Krishna, where Krishna steals the garments of gopis, and you can watch a lecture of His Grace Amrendra Prabhu, which was on Sunday. He very elaborately explained the intricacies of these pastimes and what are the teachings or learning outcomes that we can take from this pastime. So, very beautiful. You can watch that. And then now, after performing that pastime, Krishna and his cowherd boyfriends, they went along with their cows to herd them. And it is mentioned that they went a far distance. And now what is happening is Krishna is glorifying the trees. How wonderful it is, Krishna, when not only in Vrindavan, but especially in Vrindavan, Krishna glorifies each and everything. Krishna notices everything, every small detail. So it's wonderful. Let's see what is there in text 35. Etavajjanma safalyam dehinamiha dehishu प्राणेरर्थे दिया वाचा श्रेय आचरणम सदा. Is it okay or should I?
Etavajjam safalyam.
Etavajjanma safalyam
Dehinam
dehinamiha dehishu
Pranerarthe dhiya vacha
प्राणेरर्थे दिया वाचा
Shreya Charanam Sada.
या आचरणम सदा.
Was that me? Oh, sorry. Etava janma safalyam.
एतावज्जन्म साफल्यम
Dehinam iha dehishu
देहिनामिह देहिषु
Pranerarthe dhiya vacha
प्राणेरर्थे धिया वाचा
Shreya Acharanam Sada.
श्रेया आचरणम सदा. एतावज्जन्म साफल्यम देहिनामिह देहिषु. नित्यानंद प्रभु. प्राणेरर्थे धिया वाचा श्रेया आचरणम सदा. Word to word after me. Etavat, up to this. Janma, of birth. Safalyam, perfection. Dehinam, of every living being. Iha, in this world. Dehishu, towards those who are embodied. Prane, by life. Arthe, by wealth. Diya, by intelligence. Vacha, by words. Shreya, eternal good fortune, acharanam, acting perfectly, acting practically. Yes, sada, always. Translation, everyone together. It is a duty of every living being to perform welfare activities for the benefit of others with his life, wealth, intelligence, and words. Wow, and the purport is very long. So we'll go to Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila 9.42, where Prabhupada is given purport for this same verse. And we'll read that. 9.42, yes. So we'll take turns. We can start with Vishesh Prabhu.
There are two kinds of general activities: shreyas, or activities which are ultimately beneficial and auspicious, and preyas, or those which are immediately beneficial and auspicious. For example, children are fond of playing. They do not want to go to school to receive an education, and they think that to play all day and night and enjoy with their friends is the aim of life. Even in the transcendental life of Lord Krishna, we find that when he was a child, he was very fond of playing with his friends of the same age, the cowherd boys. He would not even go home to take his dinner. Mother Yashoda would have to come out to induce him to come. Thus it is a child's nature to engage all day and night in playing, not caring even for his health and other important concerns. This is an example of prayas, or immediately beneficial activities. But there are also shreyas, or activities which are ultimately auspicious. According to Vedic civilization, a human being must be God conscious. He should understand what God is, what this material world is, who he is, and what their interrelationships are. This is called shreyas, or ultimately auspicious activity.
Okay, Amalaya Prabhu.
In this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that one should be interested in Shreyas to achieve the ultimate goal of Shreyas, or good fortune. One should engage everything, including his life, wealth, and words, not only for himself, but for others also. However, unless one is interested in Shreyas in his own life, he cannot preach of Shreyas for the benefits of others.
Yes. Anybody else from ladies' side? Prabhu?
This verse cited by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu applies to human beings, not to animals. As indicated in the previous verse by the words Manusya Janma, these injunctions are for human beings. Unfortunately, human beings, although they have the bodies of men, are becoming less than animals in their behavior. This is the fault of modern education. Modern educators do not know the aim of human life. They are simply concerned with how to develop the economic condition of their countries or of human society. This is also necessary. The Vedic civilization considers all aspects of human life, including adharma, religion, artha, economic development, kama, sense gratification, and moksha, liberation. But humanity's first concern should be religion. To be religious, one must abide by the orders of God. But unfortunately, people in this age have rejected religion and they are busy in economic development. Therefore, they will adopt any means to get money. For economic development, one does not need to get money by hook or by crook. One needs only sufficient money to maintain his body and soul. However, because modern economic development is going on with no religious background, people have become lusty, greedy, and mad after money. They're simply developing the qualities of Rajesh, passion, and tamas, ignorance, neglecting the other quality of nature, sattva, goodness, and the Brahminical qualifications. Therefore, the entire society is in chaos. The Bhagavatam says that it is the duty of an advanced human being to act in such a way as to facilitate human society's attainment of the ultimate goal of life. There is similar verse in the Vishnu Purana part 3, chapter 12, verse 45, which is next quoted in the Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Jai. Haribol. So this purport was already self-explanatory, and Prabhupada is very nicely, very elaborately explained of how our lives should be dedicated to for the benefit of others, and benefits are of two types. He's mentioned shreyas and prayers, and he has given very simple examples also that what is prayers? Prayers is when we are only thinking about the immediate benefit, and Sorry. So, can you take this? Sorry. So I remembered a line from Maharaj. He always quotes this. He said, "Don't give up on what you want most for what feels good now." So this is the exact difference between Shreyas and Preyas. So Preyas is what? What feels good now. Why? Because you are getting immediate benefit, right? You're doing something and you're getting the result. So that is the immediate benefit you are getting, and that feels good. Because, for example, very relevant example right now is scrolling. When you scroll your phone, you get immediate benefit. You get some. That's why you do that. But that is not ultimately beneficial. That is not contributing towards your ultimate goal of life, either material or spiritual. Right? So that is prayers. And Prabhupada has given a very beautiful, very simple example of how Krishna used to play in his childhood. And he didn't care even of eating. So Mother Yashoda had to come and drag Krishna back to his place to eat. Now, this reminds me of something beautiful that happened in Dham. So, Dham, if you see, it has not yet completely transformed into a modern city. It is still like a village. If you go to some parts of Dham, so I was in Govardhan. Now, in Govardhan, if you do the parikrama, you'll find some villages nearby, right? And in villages, you'll also find some kids. So these kids are still very much like how we read about Krishna in his pastimes. They are like half naked. They are not they are not fully covered. They're very small, you know. So they don't really care about their clothes also. They're playing on Govardhan, climbing up and down, or they're playing in the sand, and it's very nice and very you get reminded of Krishna when you see things like that. And yeah, we were also walking like that, and then we saw some kids, and they're very nice, very simple. So that kind of gave me a small realization of how uh, Krishna consciousness is very simple, and Krishna is also very simple. If you read his pastimes, nothing very complicated, especially Vrindavan pastimes. If you go outside, little bit complicated, Bhagavad Gita, things like that, bit technical. But until he was in Vrindavan, he was a simple cowherd boy. Now, there's also one very mystical thing, or something that I heard, and I was also astonished by this. Now, materialists, they don't believe that Krishna is God. Everyone agrees with this, okay? And the Vrajvasis, they don't believe that Krishna is God. Everyone agrees with that also, right? And two different reasons why they don't believe it, right? Now, can anyone tell me, does Krishna know that he is God or not?
Not in
Who says yes? You're saying that Krishna knows that he is God.
Unless he chooses to not know, I guess.
Okay. So, but I need an answer, definite answer, like yes or no. Yes. So you both think that Krishna knows he's God. Okay. Who else? And everyone else, you also think that.
It's a middle answer to this.
Mhm. And who else thinks that? Who else agrees with me? I mean, also okay. I gave my opinion. Yes, that Krishna doesn't know that he is God. Okay. Yes. Actually, both are correct. Krishna knows, at the same time, Krishna doesn't know that he is God. In Vrindavan, especially, Krishna doesn't know that he is God. He is not aware that he is God. If he is aware, that is hampering his pastimes. Also, it's his internal potency that makes him forget that he is God. And also, like, what is the difference between, see, someone from this material world can also wake up and say that, oh, I'm God. And Krishna also, he sometimes thinks that I'm God. He is God actually. But okay, if some materialist desires something, that I want this, will it manifest right away? No, right? But Krishna, if he desires something, that will manifest. Why? Because he has different energies that will act on his behalf, that will make things happen. So Krishna, without even realizing or without even doing anything, things will happen. Krishna doesn't have to, you know, do a lot of construction work to create this material world or create this visual world, right? Just desire, and everything happens. Uh, yes, I think I went on a tangent, but we'll come back to Shreyas and Prayas. Now, we were discussing how Prayas is, and now Shreyas is the ultimate benefit. Prabhupada is talking that, Prabhupada is saying in the purport that the ultimate benefit of human life is to realize his position and go back to Godhead, attain Krishna, right? Now, many people, or most of people right now, they don't know about this. And some of them, which are also present here, are trying to know what is goal of life, how can I attain it, and what is the ultimate benefit for me, right? And then above this are some living entities who have natural love for God. They don't have to, specifically perform some sadhana, wake up early in the morning, chant 16 rounds, read Srimad Bhagavatam, although they will do that. But they will do it not out of duty. We are doing it right now. We are doing it mostly out of duty. There's a little bit attraction towards reading, towards chanting, but mostly it's out of duty. Some of us, we have vowed to a spiritual master, that's why we are doing it. But there are some living entities. It's very hard to believe also. Some living entities in this Kali Yuga, they have natural attraction for these things. They have natural attraction for hearing about Krishna. They have natural attraction for chanting the name of Krishna. They have natural attraction for taking darshan of Krishna. They have natural attraction to go to holy places, right? And we can also develop that, but we'll talk about them, how they look, how they talk, what they do, what their daily routine looks like. I cannot really describe very accurately, but when I was in Dham, so obviously you will meet Dhamvasis, right? And you will see, how many of you have been to Dham?
Which dham? Vrindavan.
Any Dham, Vrindavan, Mayapur, Navadvip.
You know.
Many of us, right? Some of us, we haven't. But, so, my aim for today's class, I don't usually have an aim, but aim for today's class is to develop or intensify. Most of you might have desire to go to Dham, to intensify that desire. Or if you don't have desire, then sprout a little desire to go to Dham, see the Dhamvasis, serve them. So, now, when you go to Dham, you'll see them, and you will immediately feel there's something different about them, Now, I was there in a temple in Vrindavan. Now, it is my, low memory that I forgot which temple. But there are many samadhis in that temple. I still remember that. No, it's not Radha Damodar. I remember Radha Damodar. There's one more temple. It's one of the major temples of Vrindavan, one of the main 7 temples. I'll remember, I'll definitely share the name and place. But we were there in the evening, and when we reached that temple, there were there was one elderly lady and one middle-aged lady. One was playing mridanga and one was playing kartals. And they were very sweetly singing Tulsi Aarti in the evening. And you will notice, or if you haven't I mean, you must have noticed, but if you haven't noticed, when you see the Dhamvasis sing, just try to notice there's a different mood that they sing in. You know, it's very different. It's very sweet, and you can see that they are actually calling out to Krishna. Or if they are singing Tulsi Aarti, then they are actually calling out to Tulsi Maharani to give them that mercy so that they can serve Radha and Krishna. And we were there. I will share. I was there with the Brahmachari group. I will also share how, not in this class, but later I'll share how I met that group. And whole Dham experience was very, very magical and very blissful, I would say. Yes. Things were happening, not happening, Krishna was making them happen, but it seems like everything was, aligning perfectly. But there was someone arranging that, that I know. So, yeah, we reached there and they were singing. And I was just, I couldn't even look at the deities. I was stuck with how they were singing. You know, it's like, and there I developed a desire. One day, if I'll be able to sing with this love for Krishna, maybe then my life will be successful. So I also have a little video. I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but I'll share it in the group. Uh, and when I started recording, exactly then they stopped singing. And we were there with Mridanga and Kartal. So what they did, they were like, now you sing. So they asked us to sing. And we were not planning to sing actually. We were running late, so we were going from temple to temple. But that Prabhu said, now Dhamvasis, they have given some orders, so we have to follow. So let's sing now. So then we sat down and then we also started singing. So this was one experience where, I got to experience firsthand that natural affection, natural love for Krishna, So, very, I cannot really explain it in words. I don't know if you are able to catch it, but it's something you have to see and you have to experience yourself, right? And one more, this is one of the most profound realization that I had in Dham, was that you cannot really see Dham with your eyes. I'm not saying this, because I've heard it somewhere in a lecture. I definitely have heard this in lecture, but I'm not saying it because of that. I have experienced this. You cannot see Dham with your eyes. You can only see Dham by your ears. You have to hear, and you have to hear from devotees who have seen Dham. Hearing can also mean reading Srila Prabhupada's books, reading books on Dham. And if you read about Dham, then you will definitely be able to have that desire to see Dham. And when you'll have that intense desire to see Dham or visit Dham, then you'll be able to see Dham. Why? Because Krishna, he only sees your intense desire. Right? So then you'll be able to see Dham. So this I experienced. When I was going to places, I was standing there looking at the deities, having no emotion, blank. And I was just wondering, what am I doing here? I came to Dham, I had prayed for so long to come to these places. And what is this? I'm having no connection with Krishna. I'm not able to see Krishna, and this is waste. I was also realizing that how, what is my position. I was seeing mirror, but I was also thinking that I've heard that Dham is very merciful, Krishna is very merciful here. So why am I not able to experience that mercy? What is lacking here? Why am I not able to see Dham? Then it's Krishna only. He inspired me to, read. He inspired me to listen about Dham. And then slowly I started experiencing Dham. I started seeing Dham differently. Krishna sent some devotees who were there just for me, just me and him. He was telling me, because he was a senior devotee, he was coming to Dham for a long time. So he knows about Dham, right? So he was telling me pastimes of the places that we were visiting. So then it was very easy for me to connect with that place. Otherwise, I was just going to that place, listening a little bit about, okay, this happened here. But then what? You know? But when I was listening from the devotee, it was very easy for me to connect. So that thing happened. And so something happened in Barsana also. Barsana, we were going to different gad, Dangad, Mangad, Vilasgad, and places like that. So I don't remember exactly from where to where we were going, but we were walking on some hill area, and there was one kind of small compartment, and there was some ducks inside, and there was one elderly Prajvasi feeding rotis to that ducks, and she was calling out like Radhe, 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 like that. And we stopped and we were looking at them, and then one brahmachari had this desire to have that roti, and he was like, Mike, can I also have it? Can we also have it? And that Mai was also cursing that ducks because they were not eating. Some of them, they were running away. So she was also cursing, hey, why are you going away? Come eat. So, and then she was like, these ducks are not eating, you only eat. So she gave us that 2-3 pieces of roti, and we all shared it and we started having it. So although that roti was salty, it was salty. It was not like a very opulent prasadam that we have in New Ramuna Dham, Dwarka Prabhu cooks. It was very simple roti, that too salty, but still, it was different, it was prasadam, it was madhugari, it was Vrajvasi's roti. So we felt very satisfied, very, I don't know, like, your soul gets satisfied. That kind of satisfaction we got eating that chapati. And then we blissfully went ahead. So this thing also happened. And they are very simple people, And I was not fortunate enough to get, scolded by any Vrajvasis. But yeah, I don't know. Someday maybe. That scolding is also very sweet, If you get scolded by a Vrajvasi, that is also very sweet. And yes, everything there is transcendental. We may not be able to see it, but it is transcendental. Still, Krishna is there, Radharani is there. They perform their pastimes. And I was reading it somewhere that we are not able to see the spiritual world because we have a thick covering in front of us, thick covering of Maya, right? That's why we are not able to experience or see Krishna. But when you go to these dhams, what happens is that covering is very thin. Here, in other places, the covering is very thick. But in dhams, the covering is very thin. So what happens is, you will have these experiences. You'll be able to, if you see a curtain, the curtain is thick, you won't be able to see through it. But if the curtain is thin, you'll be able to see something through it, not completely, not the complete picture, but something you'll be able to see, something you'll be able to experience. So same thing with Dham. Completely our material covering is not gone, but because we are in Dham, that covering is very thin. So what happens is we are able to experience something and see something. And I would say to everyone, once a year, or whatever your capacity is, twice, maybe once in 2 years, please go and visit Dham. And if you think that you don't have the capacity financially or whatever the reason is, just pray to Krishna. Just make a prayer and intensify your prayer. Intensify your desire to go to Dham. Krishna will only see how intense your desire is to go to Dham. Right? You can not go to Dham by booking a ticket. Please know that. And I experienced that also. So I had a ticket booked for Vrindavan. Train ticket, right? And I was supposed to catch that train from Surat, which is like 25 kilometers away from my place where I live. So the train was about to start at 8:35. No, 8 o'clock, 8:05. Train was supposed to start from there. Or it was supposed to arrive there at 8:05. And it will stay there for 5 minutes. So somehow, me being me, we started very late, 7:15. That route is only half an hour's long, but because it was morning time, people go to office, there was traffic, and the ETA or time was showing 45 minutes. Okay, so you can calculate. We started 8:15, 45 minutes, 7:15, 45 minutes. I'll reach there by 8. Okay, exactly on time. Now, when we started, the traffic was more than what we expected and what we saw on Google Maps. Now, my friend was trying everything. He was going here and there. He was trying very rough, trying everything. But still, the ETA was 8:10. So 8:10 is the maximum, or 8:10 is when we will reach that station. Now, I was praying to Krishna that Krishna, you made all this arrangement. Please, if you so desire, please let me catch this train and go. And I was praying, and from behind my mom was, mom being mom, she was cursing that, you guys, you never start on time, you have when you will improve in this and that. And I was like, Mom, please, let's see, maybe we'll reach there. And then what happens is, somehow, 8:07, we are there. And still, I can see the train. There's a lot of traffic between us and the, stop, where we have to stop. Lot of traffic. If you know India's traffic, it's crazy. It will not move. Now, what happens is, we all jump out of car, we take the luggage, and we start running through the crowd. Because we see the train. Now, train can leave anytime. And we start running towards the train. We run, and then we reach the train. Somehow we catch it, and then after 2 minutes, we board the train leaves. Now what happens is, after we were in the train, I checked the timings and everything. The train was 5 minutes late. The train was 5 minutes late, and if that train was not late by 5 minutes, I would have missed that train. So you see how, if Krishna didn't make this arrangement, or if Krishna didn't desire for me to go to Vrindavan, I would have missed that train. And God knows when will I get the next train, when will I go to Vrindavan. But Krishna made this arrangement. So things like this happened with me. I'm not saying that you be late for your train and try to experience something like this. This was not planned, please. Don't try this at home. And yeah, Krishna was very kind and merciful to save me and make me catch that train. But yeah, things like that this happened. Many things, like not many things, but few more things happened. We can discuss it some other time. I don't know what is the time. We have 9 minutes. So one more thing. So we were talking about Shreyas and Priyas, right? Completely out of topic I went, but let me talk something about this. So one is we receive some service, and one is we offer some service. So while this was in Mayapur, so Mayapur, I was there for parikrama, 6 days. We went around all the 9 islands, Navdweep, and it was on foot. We were walking on foot. So every place we will stop, and we will have breakfast, and we will have lunch. So one place we'll have breakfast, and another place we'll have lunch. And we were a group of 1,500 devotees together going. 1,500 devotees. And in that group there were many, like there were 2 sannyasis, Prabhupada disciples, His Holiness Kavi Chandra Maharaj, His Holiness Vigna Vinashak Narasimha Swami Maharaj. And then there were many senior devotees also, His Grace Mohan Rupa Prabhu, and then His Grace Rukmini Krishna Prabhu, many other senior brahmacharis. There were whole groups of brahmacharis. It was a very good time, I would say. Yes, lot to learn. But one thing that stuck with me was, so Mayapur Vasis, they also have their own mood, and they are very strict about prasadam. I don't know, something, but very strict about prasadam. Prasadam should be on time. It should be served to everyone in a certain way if you are in that serving team. And at first I was not serving. I was doing my own thing. I went there late also, so I was registering myself and doing things. And I was trying to find association, so that things were happening. So after some time I was like, I'm in Dham, maybe I should do some service. So I had this desire. Now what is most accessible service there was to serve prasadam, because there are many devotees, and you need servers to serve them. So I went there to serve. So so there is one Prabhu who is head of serving, who will transport the whole prasadam from Mayapur to the camp, and who is responsible that prasadam is being served, everyone is fed, things like that. He is from Mayapur. He is a brahmachari, okay, and he is also middle-aged devotee, like senior. And then we have team leads for each line. There are different lines. So you will sit down, and they'll give you a leaf plate, very traditional leaf plate, and then you'll be served prasadam inside. So each team has team lead, and then that team lead has his own team which will serve prasadam. So if anything goes wrong, that head will shout to the team lead. And I was in one team, and that Prabhuji, his name was, I still remember his name. His name was Veer Chaitanya Prabhu. He was from ISKCON Dwarka. I don't want to embarrass him. I hope he doesn't see this Bhagavatam class. But now I mentioned his name. But he was serving prasadam, right? He was team lead, and he was also serving prasadam. And that Prabhuji came, and he chastised him like anything, And I was thinking, if I were at his place, I would just leave that and go somewhere. If I will not fight with that Prabhu, I'll leave that and go somewhere. But that Prabhu, he was so humble. He not only accepted that with folded hands, he kept on serving. And then he was so humble. At the end, when everything was served, he will go with folded hands like this, and he will ask each and every person sitting in that line, Prabhu, do you want anything? Do you want anything? Are you happy? Are you satisfied? Hare Krishna, Prabhu, you want something? So he will go with folded hands like this, and he will ask each and every person that, are you satisfied, like that? And I was very touched by that humility. So I went there and I started talking with him. And I asked Prabhu's name, and he said, Veer Chaitanya Prabhu. And then, I don't know why, but I said, Prabhu, but you are very soft and very mild like this, How is your name Veer Chaitanya? And then Prabhu is like, Prabhu, my Guru Maharaj, he said, you be like a cub amongst devotees, and you be like a lion outside. So I try to follow that. Among devotees, I'm like a cub, I'll be very much like this, but outside, I'm like lion. You can ask my fellow devotees how I'm outside. And I'm like, okay, Prabhu, I accept that. And you can see that in everyone also, like Mohan Prabhu. You must have watched his videos, how strong he is, how strongly he speaks when someone talks about Mayavad, or when someone is, talking something against Krishna or his devotees. But when I saw him personally, very humble, very, very humble. And in his chastisement also, you will see that humility, not arrogance, One is you chastise someone out of arrogance, you feel like you're better than them. But one is you chastise them out of humility, out of love. Out of love you correct them. So that you can see. So that was very powerful. And I realized one thing. Sign of an advanced devotee or someone who is close to Krishna is they'll be very humble. Very, very humble. Especially amongst devotees. They will never try to pick a quarrel. They will speak wherever there is necessity. They will speak strongly. If there needs to be there some correction, but that will be also out of love, not out of envy, not out of jealousy, not out of any negative feelings like that. But it will be out of love, out of utmost compassion. We see our Srila Prabhupada, he was heavy. He was very, very heavy. When there were places, he was very heavy. You will see in his lectures also. Was, devotees, they've cried in front of Srila Prabhupada, like when he was chastising them. But that was out of love. And out of utmost care that Srila Prabhupada was doing that. And we should learn this from them. Like, whenever we have to give some correction, whenever we have to give some feedback to some devotee, anyone, we live among devotees, right? So we should reflect. Take a moment, just a moment, reflect. Where is this coming from? Where is this correction coming from? Is this coming from a grudge that I'm holding? Is this coming from jealousy? Is this coming from envy? Or is this coming from a point of love, compassion? Do I want to see this devotee improve? Or I just want to see that he is doing something wrong, I am doing something right, and that's why I want to correct him. That is out of ego. And we don't want that, because what will happen is that will boost our ego. That devotee will have no transformation whatsoever. Why? Because they can feel where you're coming from. So it will not help them, not to help you. And on the other side, it will also take you down, because that devotee will somehow or other will be hurt a little bit, may or may not be, can be subjective. But my point is that on our side, we should try to do this. I don't know how I went there, completely different topic. But yes, I think that's all I have to say. Hare Krishna. Any questions, reflections? Yes.
I have
Yes,
a
Prabhu.
question. You
give me so much satisfaction right now. You did sprout the desire to go to Dham right now. I have been desiring again, but now it's like hankering to go there. But the pain of weight it's very hard, but it's very worth it too. So thank you for saying that. And whatever you said, the realizations and reflections, I'm just looking forward to hear more from you. This is perfect. This is nectar. Just hearing is very beautiful. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. So, just one thing. So, I was there in Mayapur, and one Prabhupada disciple came there. He's like, so you are here, and I know you are experiencing a lot of mercy. You're experiencing a lot of mercy. Now, it is your duty to go and share this mercy. Don't be a thief and hide that. So, I'm just trying to follow his instruction and trying to share whatever I got. It's all mercy. I am not telling this out of humility. Believe me, I'm not telling this out of humility. This is a fact. I know I'm not qualified for what I received, for what I experienced. I'm not qualified at all. And humility is when, there is, I don't know, there's a difference between humility and fact. I know this is a fact. I know that I am not qualified and still I'm getting that. It's all mercy. That is it. And one more thing I wanted to say on... Okay, maybe this is all. Yes, Prabhu.
You were mentioning about Mohan Rupa Prabhu.
Mhm. Yes.
That he's so humble. So he must have done something which made you realize this thing.
So, he's a very senior devotee, right? And if he desires, he can have many people serving him. He can, I don't know how to express it, but he was just very simple. He doesn't want any attention, He's not seeking any attention. What he will do is, he will just walk, after the whole crowd is gone, he will walk in the back with few devotees, and either he'll be chanting, he'll be reading something, very absorbed, and or else he'll be doing kirtan, and his kirtans are very powerful. Believe me, some days we had to walk a lot, like continuously for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and I found a trick, and I'll share this. If you are going on a parikrama, and if you have to walk a lot, go with the kirtan party. Go with the kirtan party. You'll not even realize how much you have walked. Because it's very easy to walk with kirtan. Not walk, you'll dance with kirtan. And you'll not realize. What I was able to do was not humanly possible for me, at least, for what I know my body is capable of. I was on an average, walking 20 kilometers a day for 7 days. And before that, I had a yatra of 5 days in Vrindavan, where I did Govardhan Parikrama, we did Barsana Parikrama, and we went around Vrindavan almost every day. So, humanly, not possible. And if I know of my health, no. But it's all mercy, association. Yes, association, it's like, it's very powerful. Spiritual life is like that. Alone, forget about it. You cannot do it. Just forget about it. If you feel like alone I can, go close to Krishna, achieve Krishna, just forget about it. Without devotees, you cannot go anywhere. And when you are in a bunch, you are in that middle, and everyone is dancing, there's no way you cannot dance. You have to dance. Even though you are tired, you have to dance. And if they are walking, you will walk with that pace. And you will not realize if your legs are paining, if you're hurting your feet. Nothing. You'll keep walking like that. And I'll show some pictures also, how my feet were after 7 days of, or maybe 2-3 days of walking. And some things happened there also. I was walking with a chappal, I lost my chappal, I had a desire to walk barefoot. Things happened. But yes, I think Ishan Prabhu, sorry.
It's okay.
Yes,
Thank
go on.
you for the picturesque description of the entire also like when you're talking about the thin layers, it reminded me of a point Amrita Prabhu also raised. Because someone asked a question that, the demons, why couldn't they, if Krishna was so attractive, why couldn't the demons see that attraction? Why couldn't, why did they have to fight? And he said because, and he gave this example of a snake, and how a snake sheds its skin, right? And it completely sheds. So like that only, in I think Dham is just like shedding the skin of the Maya's layers that we have. Because there's he says Maya Rachita Anurabhas. That means Maya has created this layer and it's very strong here, but in Dham it's less. So that's very nice. Secondly, I can understand the trains. I had similar experiences with trains in India, and especially going to Dham. I missed most of my trains when I was going there because it was a fiasco. But it was very nice. Thank you so much for your descriptions.
Yes. Yes, Prabhu.
One point, but two things.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever there is like a festival, the most I look forward to the part is Chanamrit because I love it very much. But looking at the devotees, I just give up. You will fight. Just to drop. And then here comes a devotee, bringing a glass of Chanamrit to you. Like the whole day, whenever you are fasting, the whole day you are just thinking about the food.
Mm-hmm.
Not in a bad way that I want to eat, but like you are just hungry. Your body is reminding you of food. But then you eat the fruit, that is a different nectar.
Mm-hmm.
And that is brought by devotee, right? We hear about Vrindavan, Dham, glories of Dham. But when you actually go there, that's a different feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Hearing is a different feeling. It's also like complete, whole. But when you go there, it's a different feeling. It's a whole. And you mentioned that you were in a devotee associations at the Brahmachari, and because of that you were able to relish the nectar of Dham. So if you see, no matter what you want to do, you won't be able to do it alone. If you think, I'll achieve this, I'll do this, ye kar dunga, wo kar dunga, it's not going to happen. It's only because of the mercy of the devotees that you are able to relish this. Only because of you, I was able to go back to that yatra, to that Dham mode. So you enjoy Dham because of the mercy of the devotees. I enjoy Dham right now because of you. And I enjoy that Chanamrit because of a devotee who brought that Chanamrit to me. So because only of the devotees here, we are able to do whatever we are able to do. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Prabhu. And that reminded me of something. So when I was leaving, I don't know if you guys remember, I was asking everyone, each and everyone that I was meeting, Prabhu, please bless me. Please, pray for me that I can experience Dham and, have a connection with Krishna there. So, and I think there was only one devotee, and I forgot that devotee, whom I didn't have to pray, who came forward and said that, Prabhu, I pray that may you experience Dham and feel Dham. I don't know, one devotee. But everyone, I asked to everyone. So it's you guys, because of you guys, I prayed to you, and that's why I was able to experience Dham. So thank you so much. And I'm really very grateful, because I know that without mercy of devotees, without mercy of Mahaprabhu, without mercy of Srila Prabhupada, there's no way I can experience Dham. And the way the arrangements were made, like, I had no plans whatsoever. No plans for Mayapur, for Vrindavan, how I'll visit, with whom I'll visit, where I'll go. Nothing was planned. Everything was set, magically everything was set in a way, and the places that I was not even thinking about, I went there, I visited that places, and crazy. So I'm very grateful. So whenever any one of you, if you go to Dham, please take blessings of devotees. Please take blessings of your spiritual master. Please take blessings of Srila Prabhupada. And please pray. Pray intensely. Intensify your desire. And I was also in Vrindavan. I was standing in Krishna Balaram temple, and I was a bit emotional, and I was like, you made me wait very long to come to you, but thank you for making me wait, because if I came before, I won't have experienced this, what I'm experiencing right now. So I would say it's very nice to go to Dham, definitely. But if you go to Dham after experiencing that intense desire, that longing, that, longing to go to Dham, that is a different feeling. That is the highest rasa also, right? Uh, Love in separation is highest. And you'll experience a glimpse of that when you have that longing for Dham, and when you go to Dham, then you'll experience why that rasa is the highest. I was actually very confused in my mind before that. How can this be highest? When you'll meet someone, when you meet your lover, that is the best feeling that you can have. How can the best feeling be like separation? Separation is not the best feeling. But when you experience this, after having that long separation, that meeting feels so sweet. There is a different rasa there when you have that meeting after that separation, after that longing. So that is why it is highest. So yes, please, I would say, read about Dham, uh, hear about Dham, and develop desire, intensify your desire to go to Dham. Pray to Arkeshwar Gopinath, pray to Mahaprabhu, pray to Nityanand Prabhu, Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu. Now, I am completely, what you can say, I completely agree with everyone that Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu, they will not see your qualification, they will not demand surrender, they will not see anything, they will just give you mercy. So yes, they're very, very merciful, my God. So please pray to them, and you will definitely achieve all your spiritual desires. And any other questions, any reflections, anything you want to share? I think we are over time, but yeah, I'll not do this again. Okay, thank you so much. Hare Krishna.